Hi everybody, welcome to the intro of the vlog. As you can tell, I'm not in Japan right now. I'm still at my place. I have to get the rest of my things packed and get ready, but I figured I'd start off the vlog just to say, first and foremost, hi, this is me, ZionZinzy. If you haven't seen my face before, this is what I look like. Also, just to intro a little bit, this is the first time that I'm ever doing a vlog or anything like this, so I might not be the best at it. I might ramble on a little bit, so hopefully with the power of editing I can make an entertaining vlog for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you just want to get straight away into the vlog content past the intro section, I'll go ahead and put a timestamp on the screen somewhere. Maybe try to do the little fast forward thing at the bottom. I'm not entirely familiar with that just yet either, but I'll try to figure it out, but at least there'll be a timestamp on screen right here. So go ahead and jump ahead if you want to get to the rest of the vlog. But if you stuck around, I just wanted to add in another additional note. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for all the support on all of my other videos up to this point. I know that I have not been recording anything or putting any more videos out, and even for those of you that watch the streams on Twitch, I know that I have been a little bit vacant from that as well, and I just wanted to come on here to formally apologize for that. I've been a little bit busy with my life, with work. Work's been crazy. Been doing the best that I can there. And then also, for those of you who have tuned into the streams, or if you haven't, and if you're looking around, I moved. I'm in a bigger apartment space, so I have my own stream room. We have all the nice decorations all put out here. I have the setup right here. You can see that there. That's where the magic happens. But yeah, I mean, I've been kind of busy. Got the new place, got a new car. Work's been hectic, so again, I apologize very much, but I promise, when I get back from this trip, I will be working as hard as I possibly can to get more stuff out for you guys, including this video, obviously. You're watching it right now. But again, really, I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for you guys to even be able to go on this trip and to try and make a video out of it, to have fun and do something extra with it, the same way that I am with the videos, with the shiny hunting, and hopefully even some more Pokemon related stuff that might not be shiny hunting. I hope that you guys enjoy that stuff too, so be looking forward to that. I promise you, it's a lot of stuff that I have planned for the future. I'm very excited to share everything with you guys. Please just continue to be patient. Thank you for your patience so far up to this point, and I am beyond a shadow of a doubt confident that this is going to be a huge year for this channel. So thank you so much for sticking around, and that's all I got. So I'll see you in Japan. I feel like it's a mandatory requirement to have a shot of a plane taking off for a travel vlog, so here is the first and only shot I got of the 12-hour flight, because I tried to sleep through the rest of it as best as I could. And just like that, we're in Japan and on our way to 7-Eleven to get something to eat before the jet lag overtakes us and we crash for the night. So the start of the first day came, and we went up to get a good view from the top of our hotel and made our way over to the Pokemon Center at Tokyo Station, which was closed because we woke up a little earlier than they opened their stores. So we made our way back over towards the Pokemon Center Tokyo DX, and while waiting for the elevator, got to see some cool murals, eventually made our way up to see some cool statues, and made our way into the store. It was probably the busiest store that we had gotten to visit on the entirety of the trip, at least at the time of us visiting it, but there was a whole lot to see, if you could imagine, and we did a lot of shopping at this one since it was our first one here, so I didn't get quite as much footage as I did for some of the other ones that we'll get to moving forward. One of the things that we did get was our first attempt at a little gacha thing. It's a little bath bomb that has some Pokemon figures on the inside, so just something fun that we wanted to do and see what we got. And we ended up getting Tatsugiri. Now, this was about all the footage that I got on the first day because a lot of the rest of the day was spent trying to navigate and figure it out, but we'll move right on into day 2. Alrighty. Unofficial second day of the trip. Unofficial because the first day where we landed was realistically just an evening. Didn't really record a whole heck of a lot yesterday. Wasn't entirely sure what exactly where we were. Had to kind of work to get our bearings and everything, so we didn't really do a whole lot of recording. We went to a Pokemon Center, had to navigate around to figure out where to get some food, which took some time, figure out the public transportation, but now that we're a little bit more adjusted and a little bit more familiar with what we're doing, gonna try to be working on doing a little bit more of this vlogging. Not gonna lie, it's still a little awkward, but gonna try to get used to it and see what we can do. But right now we're on our way to see if we can get to a sushi place, see if we can get some lunch, and then we're probably gonna head into Tokyo Tower, maybe scope out a Pokemon Center there. So yeah, the only thing really that we did yesterday was just went to a Pokemon Center, got a little bit of B-roll from that. It was pretty fun. But yeah, plan to visit a few more throughout the remainder of the trip, along with a couple other things. So we're just gonna see what we can do. So yeah, see you in a few. Tokyo Tower was truly a sight to see, and the walk there was pretty nice as well. Upon arrival, we got to tour around and see a couple of photos of the construction of the tower and the town as it used to look before the construction, as well as a miniature scale model of the entire town before the construction of the tower as well. After a little bit more waiting, it was finally time for us to make our ascent into the first level of the tower. Once we made it to the top, we got to have this great view over the entire city, just being able to look down and see a lot of the different architecture, the buildings, some of the recreational areas, which is honestly always just an amazing sight to see. They also had this really cool documentary that was detailing the history and the significance and the reasoning behind building the tower, a lot of the history of the general Tokyo area long before the construction of the tower as well, the history and significance of the war leading up to it, and honestly it was really cool just to get to experience and see even more information about the importance of this tower, what it represents, the historical significance it holds, and the fact that it's still this amazing structure and site that's preserved that we get to experience firsthand and to be able to visit. So really, really cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, they also had some Pokemon merchandise in a store in the tower as well, namely Pokemon cards, including a lot of different variations of Pikachu cards, some of which I've actually never seen before. There was also, of course, a couple little figures, some additional card arts as well, throw in a couple of Charizards here or there, obviously, but my favorite card that we got to see was the Van Gogh Pikachu. Very, very expensive card, almost $900, but still really cool to see nonetheless. Alright, we are now leaving the Skytree Tower. It was very eventful, very fun, very cool. Got to go up inside of it for a bit, which was pretty neat. Then we had a little video documentary kind of talking about some of the history of some of the various regions in Japan, and you know, some historical significance about the tower. You can see it as we're walking by here, but it was really cool actually to go up in there and to see some of the stuff and learn a little bit more about some of the Japanese history. So yeah, but now we're going to be on our way to do a couple more things. Probably going to go to Akihabara, visit there for a little bit, and then try to make our way to Skytree Tower and maybe go to the Pokemon Center there as well. So it's gonna be fun. So see you in a few. We saw a lot of cool things in Akihabara, but one of the big things that we ended up seeing there was a shop that had a lot of Pokemon cards, and I do mean a lot. A lot of really cool ones to look at, a lot of full arts, plenty of the starters, a few other cards from some of the newer sets, some of the older sets, but I do think one of my favorite cards that I got to see was a Rowlet card in the stylization of the artwork of the Scream painting, which was really, really cool to see. Another thing they had plenty of was figures. Lots of different things from One Piece, Pokemon, of course, Legend of Zelda, My Hero Academia, lots of Genshin Impact statues. There was actually quite a few of those. Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball, Persona 5, plenty of other anime, Overlord, Dandadan, lots and lots of really cool stuff that we got to look at. Probably the coolest thing that we saw though was a Nintendo 64 with a Pikachu on it. It also came with 3 copies of some of the original games, which we didn't get because we didn't have cash, but still really cool to see all this stuff. Later that evening, we finally arrived at Skytree Tower. It was not as tall as Tokyo Tower, but was still pretty cool to see, of course. And they were having a My Hero Academia event on the top floor, but we had kind of had enough of heights for the day, so we didn't end up making it up there to check it out. We did, however, stop by the Kirby Cafe. We didn't end up actually getting any footage of the cafe itself, but I did get some footage of the Kirby Cafe store, and of course some footage of the little burgers that we got, which were very adorable, little Kirby burger and Waddle Dee burger. They also came in these little capsules that we got to have as keepsakes, so very, very cute little souvenirs that we had from it. Food was alright, it's nothing to write home about, but it was still pretty okay. And then, of course, we made our way to the Pokemon Center as well. This one is pretty cool. They have a statue of Rayquaza and Pikachu, and then in the back of the store, they have another statue of Mega Shiny Rayquaza, which was also really cool to see. This store also surprisingly had a lot of different plushies that we hadn't seen at any of the other stores thus far. A lot of really cool and cute ones, some that we were kind of eyeing a little bit more than others, but we didn't end up really making any selections here at this store at this moment in time. A few of them we did come back to later on in the trip, which I'll show you guys at the end of the video, but you can kind of get a pretty clear guess of one of the ones that we got right here. We also looked at some of these charms for the charm collection, which for whatever reason they left out the Gen 7 and 8 Pokemon, so no Rowlet option unfortunately. But these gacha collectible figures also caught my eye, so I contemplated getting a couple of those as well. The final location of interest for the Skytree evening was the Studio Ghibli store. It was very small and quaint, but still had a lot of life and personality, just as the Ghibli movies themselves do. Most of the stuff that they had was My Neighbor Totoro, but it was still a very cute and fun way to wrap up this very eventful evening. Day 3 started off with one of the few things that we had specifically planned to do, which was visiting the Snoopy Museum. Welcome to day 3 here at the Snoopy Museum. That's what we're here for today. So you can see here, got big old Snoopy entrance over there. Snoopy up on the top of the sign. Even got a nice little Peanuts crosswalk. Some very cute stuff. So we're gonna see what it looks like on the inside. See you in a few. That is a whole lot of Snoopy plushies. Whole lot of Peanuts and Snoopy's memorabilia. Here we got some McDonald's stuff in there, it looks like. Very cool. As I said, just an absolute insane amount of stuff to look at in the Snoopy Museum. It was a whole lot more than I was expecting, to be completely honest, which was definitely a good thing. They even had this cute little animation of Snoopy reacting to the piano music being played and kind of interacting with some of the musical notes, so that was very fun to get to see, very charming, a lot of personality and character, and honestly, I wish I could show the whole thing, but I don't really think I want to put all of that into there. I'm not sure if I could honestly show the whole thing to you guys, but just a few little snippets here and there of some of my favorite parts. It was very fun to get to see. The whole thing's about 3 minutes long, but if you can tell just from the little bits that I'm showing, there was a lot of character and personality and just a whole lot of fun and love that was put into this whole entire animation. So very cool stuff. And then, of course, we got to see a big mural of just a whole bunch of Snoopies, some pretty cool, very large Snoopy statues, as well as a very large doghouse for Snoopy. So just a lot of really cool stuff. Honestly, I was very surprised by this entire endeavor and very, very glad that we got to do it. Afterwards, we got some lunch and we decided to try McDonald's for the first time here in Japan. It was very interesting, to say the least. I got a samurai burger, which was definitely different from the kind of McDonald's that I am used to. It was still good, though. Next up was Shibuya, and we got to walk across the famous Shibuya crossing, and it was just as busy as you would imagine it to be. Honestly, it's crazy to me that there is even a place like this where there is so much foot traffic that they literally block off parts of the road to prevent people from driving through. But then, of course, we made our way to the Shibuya Pokemon Center, which was very, very cool to see. This Pokemon Center, while not being the largest one, I don't think, is probably the one I would recommend. I think it is the coolest one to visit because not only do you have the iconic Mewtwo statue that you get to visit, along with some very cool little decals of some of the other Pokemon on the back, some of their stats, their heights, their weight, some of that stuff, but there's also a display screen of the Mewtwo off to the side that's very cool. This little animation, they go through all of the different metrics, the number, the description of Mewtwo, all of its classifications, which was really cool to see. But outside of just the Pokemon Center itself, they also have an area for you to be able to make a custom t-shirt. And of course, I made a t-shirt for myself. That is also going to be shown at the end of the video. But outside of even the Pokemon Center and the t-shirt making, you also have plenty of other cool stores that are right there that you can visit while you're waiting for your t-shirt to be made in real time. Of course, the Nintendo store was a big one. We got to visit that, see some of the statues of some of those characters, see a lot of the really cool merchandise that they had there. They also had a Capcom store that was right across from it. There was a jump store with a statue of Luffy, and also even a height chart where you could compare yourself to the entirety of the Straw Hat crew, as well as a couple other things that you could check out. And honestly, that hour or two that I had to wait for my t-shirt just flew by while we were visiting all these other stores and all of this great stuff that we got to see. So it was really just a whole lot of fun. Next, we made our way to Harajuku, where we got to go down the alleyway and check out some of the various stores that were there. But while we were there, we also took some time to check out an area for gachapons. And I forgot to mention, but by this point, we actually coincidentally bumped into some friends that were kind enough to lend us some yen so that we could play the gachapons for ourselves. And I played a Pokemon machine, of course. My wife played a machine to get some Dan merch. So we played those, and we actually ended up managing to get what we were hoping for. My hope was to get the Charcadet, and her hope was to get Okaroon, which we did. We also played one more time and got a couple of extras. But honestly, shout out to our friends for being so kind to even allow us to play these. But still, I cannot believe the sheer luck and coincidence that we just happened to bump into them and they happened to be there at the exact same time with us not knowing. But, you know, that reminds me, in line with crazy luck, I also did play Pokemon Go while I was on this trip, of course. So I figured now would be a good time for me to just showcase some of those shinies that I got during the event that was taking place while we were there for Pokemon Day and the Unova Go Tour. Some of my favorites were my first ever shiny Genesect, my double up back-to-back shiny Reshiram, and my first ever Shadow Shiny Skorupi. That one was my personal favorite because if you didn't know, Skorupi was actually the first shiny I ever caught. But that was all I had to share for this day, so let's go ahead and move on to the next day, which was the official Pokemon Day itself. Alright, so we're walking out again, another day today. We are in Ikebukuro. It is officially Pokemon Day as of today, so we're gonna go to Pokemon Center here and the Pokemon Sweets Cafe. But I mean, even then still, just everything else that's here, it's crazy. There's always something to do everywhere that we go. A lot of the stuff that we've been doing so far has been not really planned or scheduled too terribly much outside of visiting a couple specific stores here and there. But it's been really cool. I mean, it's just everywhere that you look, there's crazy stuff. There's a big Animate store. We might go to that later on as well, after we go to the Pokemon Center, and probably get some lunch after that. Get something at the Sweets Cafe as well while we're here. But I mean, it's crazy. And Bandai Namco, probably go in there as well. Check some of that stuff out. I don't know, it's just been really fun to just play it by ear and explore a lot of the different areas in Tokyo. It's been really cool. So, yeah, we'll see you again at the Sweets Cafe. All right, we're here at the Pikachu Sweets Cafe. Very cute looking little stuff. There he is, my boy. Look at him, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. There's the stone statue as well. Very nice. Got a couple little Pokemon all around. Chimchar and Trico up there. Pikachu. Eevee, all the topiaries as well. Very cute. A little Pokeball for the Yampers to play fetch. Pikachu with a topiary as well. Some of the water starters. Very cute stuff. And a substitute and a Whimsicott here. Very adorable. Aside from the statues, the overall aesthetic of the Pokemon Cafe was also really cute, and we were a little bit hungry, so we decided to go ahead and get a Pikachu waffle. Wife was too hungry and she took a bite out of it before I could get a good look at it, but then we made sure to feed the Garbodor and make our way over to the Pokemon Center. Got to see Miraidon, which was really cool, and then also took a look at some more stuffed animals. I did really take an honest look at some of these Soda Pop plushies. I really like the aesthetic of them, but I didn't end up making the decision to go with any of these guys, although they are very, very cute. There are a couple other Pokemon as well in little cute designs. Of course, the 3 Paldean starters had plenty of merchandise to see as well. We saw a big old Pomo that was very cute to see, and a Paldean Wooper as well. After spending a bit of time in the Pokemon Center, we made our way over to the first Mugiwara store that we got to see, an entire store dedicated just to One Piece, so I was very excited to get to see some of this store, and very, very excited to see some of the posters. That was some of the things that I was really looking forward to getting, so I spent a little bit of time looking at those. Ultimately, only ended up going with getting a couple of them, as I don't think I could justify getting every single one of them, so I just stuck with my favorites, Luffy and Zoro. Something I was kind of surprised to see was an entire subsection that they had of the store that was dedicated just to the live-action Netflix adaptation, so that was pretty interesting to get to see as well. And then I got my picture with Luffy, and we made our way over to the next section, which was an entire area dedicated to Pokemon Go. As you could probably imagine, there were a lot of Pokemon Go gyms in the area, and they had a leaderboard that would kind of show who the top defenders were, what team they were on, and then of course we had Professor Willow and all of the team leaders in statue form there as well. We walked around a little bit more to see a few more of the artworks they had on the walls, and as well a Smeargle that was painting the wall, a Pikachu height chart as well, and then just a lot of other little instances of some more alternate artwork with some legendaries, some other Pokemon, just a lot of really cool stuff to see. Next up was the Bandai Namco Cross Store. This was something that I had seen while doing a little bit of research into some other people's vlogs of their trips, so I wanted to come here and just check some of it out. We got to see a lot of cool things, a lot of figures on display, a lot of cards, a lot of claw machines, and just plenty of really cool stuff to see. Pretty much any fandom you could imagine that's Japanese adjacent, they had just about everything that you could possibly think of here. We rounded out our evening by going to a yakiniku place, which is essentially just where you grill your own meat. It was very interesting to get to do that. It was very fun. The meat was very, very tasty. And honestly, it was just an all-around great time. So wonderful way to end the evening and move us on into the next day. Day 5 had us visit Team Labs Planets, which is essentially interactive experiential art. And I gotta say, it was probably one of the coolest things that we did on this trip. We got to see a lot of really awesome and unique things. For the sake of video length, I'm just going to be sharing some of my favorites, the first of which was a room where it felt like we were walking through a vast expanse of stars. So the stars would actually shift in color, and they would move to make it really feel like you were in this vast expanse, and there was even an app that we could download to choose which color we wanted to change it to, so that was really cool. Next up, we had a koi fish pond that was also lights illuminated on the water. We actually got to wade through the water and just get to look out at all of the lights that were on there, displaying the numerous koi fish that would explode into bursts of flower petals of various colors. Speaking of flowers, another room we went into was a never-ending expanse of falling flowers. This room was actually really cool because the display on the walls was procedurally generated, so no moment that you were in there would be exactly the same as any other moment in time. So it was just constantly something different to look at of flowers falling in this vast, expansive void of space. Next up was a room with multiple colored spheres. You actually got to kind of walk around and push these around a little bit, but it was just another really cool room with a light of bright and vibrant colors that would shift. The last room we went into was a room where a bunch of animals would run around the wall, and you could actually download an app to be able to catch these animals, but the main kicker of this is that all of these animals are extinct species. So the more you got to catch them with the app, the more you would get to learn about the history of them, how they interacted with humans, their ecology, all kinds of really cool things, which obviously fit into the theming of the Team Labs Planets itself. But overall, this was a really cool experience. There was so much more that I didn't share, but it was just honestly something I would highly, highly recommend if you ever were to be able to make it to one of these facilities. The next part of the adventure was hopping on the Shinkansen or bullet train and making our way over to Kyoto and also Osaka as well. The train ride was pretty fun. It wasn't too terribly long, but it did take up a good portion of our day. So the first day that we got there was spent just going to, of course, visit some of the Pokemon centers. Starting in Kyoto first, we got to see a very cool traditional kimono-styled Pikachu, and Lugia and Ho-Oh with Pikachu as well. And of course, having just released the new trailer for ZionZinzy, they were displaying that in the store as well. And like I said, next up was the Pokemon Center in Osaka. They had a statue of Koraidon there, also the 3 legendary birds, the 3 Paldean starters along with Pikachu, but Meowth got to tag along as well. Of course, some more decorative wall art. Another Pokemon cafe that had its own little set of statues and wall art as well, where we got to see a couple different variations of Chef Pikachu, as well as a couple other Pokemon that help out in the kitchen, such as Snorlax, Eevee, and Gengar, which was very, very cute to see too. Day 8 brought us to Universal Studios Japan, which was the primary reason that we came to Kyoto in the first place, and we took this amazingly artistic train to get there. If the train wasn't indicative enough, of course, the sign as you walk in is very clear that the main attraction here is Super Nintendo World. We made our way past the Universal Globe and the flying flags. Then we finally arrived at the park. The weather was unfortunately rainy and cold, so a lot of rides were closed and shows were canceled, but we still made the most of it that we could. And we started off by visiting Hogwarts. And I don't really know what I expected, but surprisingly, this layout for Hogwarts felt almost, if not exactly the same as the Universal Studios that is in Orlando, but it was still really cool to get to see. Now, for those of you that are familiar, whenever you go to the Hogwarts areas in Universal, you can purchase a interactive wand that allows you to cast certain spells, and since my wife has never been to a Universal Studios at all, I wanted to make sure I could give her that full experience. So we went around and did a couple of those. I got a little bit of a recording of that just to showcase some of the stuff that we did, and it was overall just a really fun time just to get to go around and kind of check out the park a little bit more and see some of these immersive experiences. Next, we made our way over to Jurassic Park, and as you could imagine, there were plenty of dinosaurs to see. The coolest one being this mechanical velociraptor they had kind of locked up in a cage that moved. But overall, that was really just about everything that we did here. Just kind of looked around at some of the cool stuff, but not as big of fans of Jurassic Park compared to some of the other stuff. Next up, we made our way to the Minion Park, and oh my goodness, there was a whole heck of a lot of stuff to look at here for sure. Minions were just absolutely everywhere, if you could believe it, and there were some pretty interesting rides to look at, a lot of vibrant colors and visuals, and honestly, it was just a lot more than I was anticipating. Universal Japan is also known to have some anime-related activities as well, and the anime of choice this time around was Detective Conan in a 4D viewing experience that we got to see, and of course they had a merch shop as well. After the viewing experience, it was finally time for our entry into Super Nintendo World. This was my first time ever making it to a Super Nintendo World, so it was a really cool experience and I was very excited to see. So we started off by entering through the warp pipe and made our way through Peach's castle and emerged on the other side to see the entirety of the park. And man, there really was a lot to see. Now, at this point in time, it was later in the afternoon, so it was pretty crowded. And again, it was still kind of rainy and cold out, so a lot of the lines for the rides were really, really long, but that did not stop us from getting in some of the sights and just having a great time. I did also get a power bracelet while we were there and made sure to utilize it a little bit, but there were also lines for some of those things, so here's a few of the things that I managed to do with it.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah.
All good things must come to an end, and eventually it was time for us to leave the park. The only thing of note on day 9 was us returning to Tokyo. However, when we arrived, we were met with snowfall, which was pretty cool to see, but not so cool to walk through. Next on our list of things to do was to visit Tokyo Disneyland. It was still raining, of course, but again, we just had to make the most of it. One of the things we noticed throughout our whole trip is that Japan loves to do limited time events revolving around specific characters or fandoms, and Disneyland was no exception, having a special Vanellope von Schweetz theme which came with numerous decorations throughout the park. This included statues, costumes for some of the characters, the parades, which we'll get to in a minute, and various other things. Just like it was with Universal, due to the weather, there were very long waits for most ride, and also a good handful that were closed down. Despite the weather, we did still get to witness one of the parades with various floats and Disney characters, which included Up, Zootopia, Moana, Tangled, Pocahontas, Coco, The Incredibles, Big Hero 6, and of course, Mickey and the Gang. We did also get to see another parade later in the afternoon as well, with the special theming I had mentioned previously. However, that one was also drastically diminished due to the weather as well, so there were only a couple of floats in place of the entire large-scale event. And that's pretty much all of the footage I got from Disney. So after another relaxing day, we made it into day 12, where we visited our final Pokemon Center in Yokohama. This Pokemon Center had some pretty cool windows that were decaled with various Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet as you walked towards it, some Evolutions, several Gimme Ghouls, the Paldean starters and their evolutions, the legendaries, and Pikachu and its evolutions of course, as well as a few other various fan favorites from Gen 9. You then of course have the dedicated statues for the store with Manaphy, a couple other starters, and Captain Pikachu, as well as a Kyogre that was in the ceiling, which was pretty cool to see as all of them have been. Since this was our final Pokemon Center and also the least crowded one, I decided to go ahead and use this opportunity to get some really good shots of various merchandise that we were seeing throughout these stores, but especially this one. They had some really nice shelving for them, so it actually ended up working out really well for me to just get some good shots of a lot of the different merchandise, and I figured that would be a good way for us to wrap up our Pokemon Center adventures. Oh yeah, there was also a Minecraft store that was here, so I just thought that was kind of funny. While this was our last Pokemon Center, there was still one more Pokemon event to be had. Here in Aoyama today for something kind of exciting. You can see it right back there. Honda is actually presenting their Koraidon model. So I don't know if you guys were familiar with the Miraidon they did in the past, but they're doing the Koraidon today. So came here earlier this morning to get tickets so that we could come in to take a look at it. Very excited. It's going to be very cool. I didn't even know that it was happening until just the other day, but it'll be really cool. We're in here right now. See if we can get a little bit of a snapshot of it. So we're just a little bit early. We have a designated time for our ticket to be able to go up to get a little bit of a closer look. It's going to be very exciting. But we'll see in a little bit. I'll just keep getting a little bit of some snapshots here, a little bit of some footage of what's going on, but very cool. Glad that we managed to make it in this morning. It was very cold, but very well worth the wait, I'm sure. So see you in a few. Eventually, after a little bit of waiting, it was our turn to get to go up and get to look at it up close. We had about a minute and a half, but honestly, it felt like forever. It was just really cool. I cannot express enough how awesome it was to get to be this close to this thing, to get this close of a look to it. I love the intricate detailing and the texturing it has on it. You know, we got a couple little snapshots of it with a little guy, get his real life counterpart side by side, and then also got a couple of photos with it for later. And it, honestly, just a really, really cool experience, but I'll give it back to my past self. My thoughts, super cool. It was very, very cool to get in there and go see. And for participating in the survey, we got ourselves a little sticker. You can see that. Exclusive merchandise. It's really all that they had. If they had merch, you know I would have bought it, but still, the sticker is really cool. It was really cool to get to see. Brought my little plushie that I got on our trip here as well. So that guy's here too. It was very fun and once in a lifetime experience. Very glad that we got to do it, and I honestly, again, I didn't even know until saw it on Blue Sky. So really cool. But yeah, that makes up the big thing for the last day, and we're just going to be doing some exploring for the remainder of it. So see anything else that we get up to, but if not, see you when we get back home. Hey guys, it's me, back from the trip like I said I'd be. And man, what an amazing way to end the trip. I still can't believe that we managed to get in there to see that once in a lifetime event on the first day of the showcasing of just 3 days, and it was on our final day that we were there. And between that and just happening to bump into friends and all of the cool stuff that we got to see and experience, it was just such a phenomenal time, and I am so grateful that I was able to go on this trip at all. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below of what your favorite thing was. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment about that too. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions, engage in any feedback from you guys as well. So before we get to the complete end of the video, I figured some people would also be curious about some of the stuff that we got. So I wanted to go ahead and showcase some of the souvenirs that we got so that you guys can see that. So we'll get into that right quick, and then I'll come back around and close out the video fully. First up are some gifts we got for family, some Snoopy merch, model cars, a Peter Pan popcorn bucket, some Disney ear headbands, a Mickey blanket, some stuffed animals, and lots of Disney pins. And for ourselves, we got a Snorlax suitcase that was much needed to bring a bunch of this stuff back in, a few Pokemon and anime pins, a Majora's Mask pin, and also a Luffy keychain. I got the first issues of One Piece and My Hero Academia, as well as a Full Metal Alchemist art book. I wanted to show off the wand we got for my wife at Universal as well, a few cups with Winnie the Pooh, Pikachu, and Mew. The Pokemon figures I got from previously in the video were Aggron and Greninja. I also got some stamps at the Mugiwara store, and as a reward got a little pouch that I used to hold our receipts in, a figure of Chopper, the One Piece posters I picked out earlier in the video as well, a few various Pokemon and One Piece stickers in plenty of different styles and sizes. I also got some postcards from the Mugiwara stores as well, a Link figure we won from the claw machine, Snorlax earrings, a couple of pins and magnets from various places we visited, and of course plushies, starting with a squishy Rowlet, a more standardized Rowlet, the 3 Kanto starters, Gumi, Miraidon and Koraidon, a very squishy Fido, and a big Snorlax. We also got a couple cute washcloths, socks, a Snorlax blanket, a few sets of chopsticks, and then finally some clothes, which included my Design Lab shirt from the Pokemon Center in Shibuya, a hoodie from Disney, a sweatshirt from Universal, and probably my favorite of the bunch, a hoodie from the Mugiwara store, and as well a light button-up from the Mugiwara store. So yeah, a lot of souvenirs, as you can see, a lot of cool things to be able to decorate the stream room, as you can see here with some of the little guys we got over here and some stuff on the shelf, some cool clothes to be able to remember the trip by. But honestly, my favorite souvenir from this entire trip is this video. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I'm being genuine. If it was not for people like you that watched this all the way to the end, and for people who support this channel, I do not think I would have documented nearly as much of this trip to be able to go back and look through myself and to be able to share with other people. And honestly, at the core, that is what this channel is. It's a little passion project of mine, and I'm so grateful to all of you guys for supporting me up to this point, to be able to let me share the things that are going on in my life, the shiny hunts that I'm doing, and this mutual connection we have with Pokemon and the like. So thank you guys again, genuinely so much for allowing me to be able to share this, for watching to this point. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I fully intend for this to be a big year for the channel. There is lots of stuff to come. I have plenty of ideas, lots of cool videos. I'm working very hard to edit more videos. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, vlogs or something like that, more IRL, or, you know, even if you just want to see my face in videos more frequently, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely work to figure that out. Any feedback that you guys have at all, whether it's for this video or just moving forward with the channel, please let me know that as well. But again, thank you so much for your patience. I apologize that it has been a long time since the last video. I'm going to be working very hard to get more stuff out to you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you. I cannot express it enough. But until next time, always remember, tomorrow is another bright and shiny day. See you guys.